Hey guys, I am Ibigandscary. I'm bringing you another StarCraft 2 replay, this time featuring in our top right-hand side Dizzbanger, who you might recognize. This is actually from our terrible tournament of fun. He is our gold leaguer, and he is our red Protoss. This is, I believe, the losers match. I think it's the losers bracket. I honestly cannot remember because it has actually been a significant amount of time since I actually cast the last game of Dizzbanger. However, I do know that it was absolutely entertaining to watch, so I'm looking forward to this one. This is actually another best of three, and his opponent this time is going to be MangoSpandeX, which is a bit of a misnomer because he is sporting our purple trunks as our Zerg player. We're on Derelict Watcher, and it's going to be a rip-roaringly fantastic show. I cannot wait. I absolutely cannot wait, especially with the very, very early drone scout coming out from MangoSpandeX. He's actually already apologizing for the fact that he's sending out that super early drone. He's going to be able to get in there, going to be able to see the pylon being constructed already by Dizzbanger down on the low ground, looking like it's going to be a Forge Fast Expand, a classic opening from our Protoss buddy. No super early pool. I don't know, wow, actually a 9 pool. Kind of like a 10 pool, but he already produced the Overlord coming out from MangoSpandeX. Doesn't mean that he's going to absolutely explode with Zerglings as soon as it finishes. Only time will tell. Remember, these games are for one reason only, that everybody inside the league just genuinely enjoys StarCraft. This is totally what StarCraft is about, is the sheer enjoyment of that. So there is going to be zero judgment on anybody's part, including my part, for any build order ingenuity from these players. We have the Forge Fast Expand coming out from Dizzbanger, so he's probably going to be making motions like he wants to throw down a Nexus sooner or later. We do have that early spawning pool from Mango though, so he has to be very careful, and I wouldn't be surprised if Dizzy elected to actually complete his wall off before he actually decided to throw down that Nexus. In fact, that's probably what I would do. He did scout that spawning pool. He knows that this is an eventuality, that, you know, it's probable that he is going to be getting some form of aggression coming out from Mango. We had 4 Zerglings being produced just a handful of seconds ago. There they are out on the field. The Queen also coming up, but oh no, Dizzbanger throwing down that Nexus. Oh my goodness. Mango's getting excited too. He's dancing with his drone right by that pylon. I wonder what is going to happen. I honestly have no idea. And oh, that's actually fantastic positioning of that drone there. If he has it on hold position, and I'm not 100% sure he does, I'm positive he doesn't actually, but if he did, he could make it so that wall off wouldn't be happening at all. He couldn't be, you can't make a wall off here with the drone in the way, and that's actually going to give these 4 Zerglings a way into this enemy base, even with that photon cannon being constructed. Totally doesn't matter though. 6 more Zerglings on the production tab, and these Zerglings scoot right by the Nexus, and the photon cannon going to be pushing up into the main. There's no gateway on the field. These probes are left 100% to fend for themselves, and we're going to be switching over to the workers kill tab just to see that there is 1 right now already. There goes another 2. Holy crap. Photon cannon's going to be constructed eventually, it looks like. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, there it goes. It does get constructed, but oh my goodness, this is an absolute, I believe the term would be a pogrom of some sort, an ethnic cleansing of these probes. But now with 7 workers total killed, Mango has turned his single Zergling on this photon cannon, but fortunately for Dizzbanger, his photon cannon was canceled. Oh my goodness, was it killed by that drone, or was it just canceled? I'm not 100% sure. Regardless, we do have 2 more photon cannons being constructed by that pylon, another pylon going down behind the mineral line, and it looks like Dizzbanger might stabilize. I mean, he does have 3 photon cannons being constructed. Oh, and that photon cannon finishes. And is it within range? I think a handful of Zerglings could be attacking the Nexus from the far side, just outside of range of that photon cannon. But with even more Zerglings coming in, MangoSpandeX is going to be having a field day on all of these probes. Holy crap, we have 11 harvesters to only 14. And remember that Mango has been just constantly doing aggression. He has elected to rebuild, or just to construct a hatchery on the low ground, but he doesn't have it saturated. He's got 11 workers total. He hasn't got it saturated at all. Looks like that Nexus is going to get cleaned up. In fact, everything on the low ground is going to get cleaned up. I like to think that this drone has become a commander of some sorts. He's like ordering around those guys because he's got to kill. I mean, he's a predator, guys. He's totally a predator, and these Zerglings are going to be taking orders from him. Looks like the Nexus is going to go down. The Forge gets unpowered with a single photon cannon up here. Mango is maybe thinking about being further aggressive and, you know, pushing forward and trying to do some damage to this probe line, but in reality, no, he's grabbing a third hatchery, and, you know, that's totally the right call. You don't need to end the game right now. You're totally in a commanding lead to your opponent. Just pull back, keep your Zerglings in one piece. Maybe throw down a Baneling nest, maybe get gas. He does have gas. He's not working on that speed right now, but he is getting gas. He's almost got 50. He'll soon have that 100 necessary to start on the metabolic boost, or maybe he's thinking about getting some form of higher tech. All of the Zerglings get cleaned up by these photon cannons. It doesn't look like they're going to succeed in even taking down the shields of that second one. 13 kills. Oh my goodness. Oh no, did the commander die? I think he died. Oh no. No, workers killed a 0. Holy crap, he's probably one of these guys right here. I'm totally gonna find him. Oh no. You see, and this is exactly why I wish we could hotkey drones, so that I could follow around this hero drone for the rest of the game. We can only hope that he becomes something like the Baneling nest and just is like a beacon of a glory for the rest of this game. MangoSpandeX moving out with another huge swell of Zerglings, but without Baneling nest on the field, there's really not a lot he can do with this incredibly well protected photon cannon. Another forge being constructed so he can get down a handful of extra photon cannons. Actually, Dizzy is not doing a bad job at all at salvaging this disastrous opening. Can't really expect him to know that he needed to get the you know, the wall completely constructed right away. That would be an adaptation to a build order that he's very familiar with, and you know, at this league you just follow along your build order, and if you see scout something, then you can't really be expected to do a very wise adaptation to your build order. However, he's got some nice probe control. He wants to keep them away from these Zerglings for as long as possible, buy some time to get his static defenses up, and now that he's got his static defenses up, he can begin to stabilize. I mean, 24 over 22 harvesters, he is not significantly far behind economically speaking. Even though the Zerg has got 3 bases, they're neck and neck with their mineral income. That is absolutely mind-boggling. That is so incredible. Roach Warren is down though, and that could be disastrous. If there could be, there's a lot of roaches over here. If these guys have turned into roaches magically, there's really no number of photon cannons that Dizzbanger can produce. However, he's got his gateway down. He's got a lot of gas income. He can start teching like there's no tomorrow. Throwing out a really ballsy pylon on the left side. This zealot's also pretty ballsy. I believe strongly that that pylon is not long for the world. Metabolic boost now being started at the 10-minute mark. Very, very standard from Mango. But man, I'm really impressed with the fact that Mango has elected to take advantage of the fact that he's doing so well with these Zerglings to triple expand, start teching. He's getting that layer up. He's really doing really, really well. Just staying on top of the fact that he's got this massive advantage, and he's teching behind it. So many people will panic whenever they actually have a lead and try to end the game right then and there, but no, he's doing a fantastic job of keeping Dizzy contained, keeping him on one base, and not trying to win right away. He's getting up really nice tech. Layer is on the way. Metabolic boost is going to be finishing in a handful of seconds. Hopefully when that layer is done, we can see some upgrade to those roaches. The Zerglings are playing cat and mouse with those photon cannons, but I think the photon cannons are actually coming out on top of that, and this single zealot is overseeing the just general defense of Dizzy's base. What can Dizzy do to get back into this game? Whew, not a lot. Not a lot. I see the Stargate, which he is thinking about. That would be a great play. I do not recommend the robotics facility. Yeah, the AoE would be absolutely fantastic against all these Zerglings. But remember, we got the roaches on the field, and in all honesty, what Dizzy needs is a very small amount of units that are capable of doing a lot of damage, and Void Rays are totally what that is. A handful of Void Rays can really hold off an infinite amount of roaches. We do see the 54 over 27 harvester count. Dizzy has fallen by the wayside to the just economical choke slam. I am not familiar with that one. I wonder if that's like a suplex of some sort or a lariat or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. It sounds painful. It sounds very painful, and is probably an adequate description of what happened to Dizzbanger in the first 3 minutes of this game. I'm really looking forward to. Remember, this is a best of 3. You can only assume what the next game is going to be like. 35 supply over 81 supply, 11 roaches on the production tab. I feel strongly like Mango is going to be bringing down the hammer on the choke, or choking the slam at some period of time in a very short amount of time, I'm sure. We have a handful of gateways, also getting the robotics facility out there. Dizzy is really investing into his infrastructure, not really investing into units that can hold off this impending push. And we have just a fleet of overlords overseeing the march of all these roaches. They're pushing out there with +1, +1, +1. These are great upgrades. These are perfect, absolutely perfect upgrades. I really like the creep spread too coming out from Mango. His economy is, I'm really impressed by the economy. 50 harvesters over 30, and he's got gas tapped at every single one. He's got his lair up. I would totally recommend grabbing a Spire at this time. Mutalisks are always fun whenever you have a lead, so that you can just continually harass. And wow, Dizzbanger is stabilized to the point where he can actually afford to take a Nexus on the low ground. This Nexus, once again, is not accompanied by a wall off of any kind, and with the roaches that are just kind of hanging out right here, they're going to be able to push in 1A into that Nexus. However, if Dizzy manages to stabilize this is totally the move that could get him back into this game. You know, his opponent's only on 3 bases, and if Zerg's only on 1 base up from the Protoss, then you're basically even. And in fact, Dizzybanger's supply is beginning to creep up. We were a little bit behind at 80 over 30 just a couple of minutes ago, but now we're up to almost 55, almost 100. So Dizzybanger's actually beginning to close that gap. And speaking of closing the gap, he's closing off that wall off. He's getting the gateway there. He's probably going to be throwing down another tech structure there. He's got the Cybernetics core back at home, right? Yeah, he totally does. Oh my goodness, he's also got a roach infestation just right outside the front door. Still no Baneling Nest. I'd love to see a Baneling Nest because these Zerglings would be able to push in here, and if there was a wall off, he'd be able to crush them completely. No force fields to speak of from Dizzbanger. He's going to be relying exclusively on his Zealots to hold off this roach push. Unfortunately, the Mothership is just not, there's just not enough DPS to hold off these roaches. A Phoenix being produced and not a Void Ray, even with Photon Overcharge on that Nexus, it does not appear to present enough DPS to actually clean up these roaches, but he did succeed in taking out every single one of those Zerglings. So only roaches left right now, and roaches cannot shoot up, so given enough time, given enough wherewithal, this Mothership core will be able to clean up this push. Force field on the ramp. Force field on the ramp. No force field on the ramp. 2 Phoenixes have been produced. A Void Ray on the production tab. Void Rays can totally clean up these roaches. Artosis Pylon goes down, unpowering 3 of those warp gates. It doesn't look like Dizzybanger is long for the world. Really nice control here. Picking up our roach. Allowing his Phoenix to actually peck away at that, actually doing a significant amount of damage, but oh no, the Hydralisks are on the field now, and unfortunately that Warp Prism is going to be popping out with plenty of AoE anti-air in the area for Spandex, and unfortunately MangoSpandeX is going to be just choke slamming his way to victory. I think Dizzbanger is going to have to tap out, even with the Photon Overcharge. If the roaches wanted to, they can totally focus down that Nexus before it actually cleans them up. Yeah, wow, an Immortal totally doing work on the right side, completely missed him. However, once again, the roaches are turning their ire on top of that Nexus, and it looks like that Nexus is actually bound for ire in just a handful of seconds as the Hydralisks once again just turn their massive amounts of DPS on these structures here. You saw how very, very quickly that robotics facility went down. Last Nexus goes down, even though Dizzbanger has enough money to throw down 3 or 4 Nexus. I just don't believe that he feels like he can right now. What are they? Why are they retreating? Why are they retreating? I can only assume that Spandex wants to prolong this game for as long as possible, but no, he's turning around, absolutely crushing them. Dizzbanger is now being revealed, and every single one of those probes do go down. I actually don't believe that there's a single one. Oh, there's one. There is one. Where is he? He's somewhere on this screen. Oh yeah, over here on the right side. If he goes down, Dizzybanger's hopes die from him. No retreat, no surrender, which is my key to actually speed this up. And it looks like Dizzbanger did indeed surrender after a handful of seconds. Absolutely fantastic. Good job, Dizzy. I remember the first game, and I thought he won, but I guess not, as this is probably the loser's bracket. And I say that because I saw both of them were posted at the same time. So I'm going to go on to cast game number 2. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks to Dizzy for posting this. Or actually, I don't know if Dizzy actually posted this, but I do know that we got in touch after I cast this game, and he confirmed that while his name is Dizzbanger, he does have a nickname of Dizzbanger, so he goes by Dizzy if we're friends, and I like to think we're friends. I also like to think that we are friends, person watching this video and me. So thank you for watching the video. If you have a game you want me to cast, you could PM me here or on Reddit. One way or another, I will see you guys later. I should see you in the next game. Bye.